Hello. Right, I've been practicing Harmug's voice because I haven't done it for a week. Is this right? I think this is the right voice. I think that's Harmug. I think I've got Harmug. Because I'm playing a couple of games, which means I've got a couple of different voices on the go. And because of that, and I'm not a trained voice actor, not like some of them, so it's a bit difficult holding all those voices in my head. I tried to do an Irish twang the other day, and it was awful. It was pathetic. I really need to watch more Father Ted and brush up on my Irish twang. I'll have to practice more voices. I used to do heaps when I read to the children, but I don't do that much anymore. Anyway, hello. I know I'm possibly talking to somebody because I have started to put things live. Anyway, Mork Borg. We're back with Mork Borg. We're back with the Adventures of Harmug. I decided not to wear my beanie because it's getting a bit warmer now. So you'll have to put up with the reflections of my beautiful dome. I do apologise. Maybe wear sunglasses when you're watching this just to protect yourself from the glare. Anyway, so Harmug, our adventurer, who has been voyaging north for many days. 8 days he's been voyaging north to collect the firstborn goat from it's been such a long time now he's forgotten what it even is he's supposed to be doing. He's going to collect the firstborn goat from a settlement outside Graventosh, which is the large mausoleum place. Yes, he was waylaid by a potential village that may be empty that he thought he could go in and get himself some easy treasure, maybe, in it, or easy meal, maybe. And whilst I was adventuring, going off towards this village, who was it? It was that big giant bloke who died. A big giant bloke died, and I thought I'd go and try and find, what was his name? It was only yesterday. Oh, Vargal. It was the village of Vargal. Vargal had died. The whole of the village had come out because they were a bit sad that he died. That guard had just died on me as well, which was that was very peculiar. That was very weird. That was how he died. Spider cultists. But anyway, so whilst I was off towards the village, I came across, and I remembered it because back, at the burning city, I remembered it being mentioned. It was Pale Park, and inside was, and I remembered this, Misery Lodge. And I reckon I climbed over the fence. These little pixies, had a Barney with these little pixies, got my face cut up. I had to take a healing potion. That hurt. Then I found an herb garden, didn't I? I think I did. Here we go. Hold on, I'll hold this up because this didn't work when I had the little camera. So there we are. We came into Pale Park. Over here. We came into Pale Park. Had to climb. No, this wasn't the fence. This was entered Pale Park. Then we went, found a gate to actually get in. This was like a forest outside Pale Park. We attempted to pick the lock. Picking the lock failed. It broke. So then we had to climb over. We got trapped in a man trap. That was a bit perturbing, in the very long grass that was outside. Then we found a walled garden, which was a herb garden. And Harmug, after being quite tired from the travel, I think if I remember rightly, it was drizzle. It's been drizzling all day, indeed. So Harmug decided outside the herb garden he'd have a sleep. If I remember rightly, we had a successful sleep, and I have notes here saying new day in the park. So 9th day, Harmug will awaken. We'll go through. So we're using. I should really say this everything, really, shouldn't I? Just in case someone does watch it, because I kind of know. This is nice reminding for me as well, particularly the voices. Isn't it? I mean, I can't even remember what Guard's voice was. So we're using Sölitary Defilement with the just quick, because really you should pay for it. It's very good and it's worth the money, and it's not very expensive. I got this from Drive-Thru RPG, and it is well worth the money to play this solo. There's this Pal Park, the little dungeon that came with it, as did 2 other small dungeons, and Alone in the Crowd, which is a supplement to Solitary Defilement for city exploration, which we haven't got to use yet, but we might do at some point, particularly as if Harmog survives. He's been going ages compared to the other 2. If Harmog survives north, he may come across the settlement and we'll get to use Alone in the Crowd. Anyway, so I will follow the guide. First off, we roll for the calendar. We are on where's the thing? We're on a D6. I'll get my dice out. Let's switch over so you can see my dice rolls. I did try and adjust the, I don't know if that's changed it. So I turned normally the light is on the shelves behind me. I thought that might help with the halo around my head. Otherwise I'd have to find the beanie and put the beanie on. So you don't have to see my I don't mind it, but I just feel sorry for people having to catch the glare. So, we have had 1 misery so far, and here is our second misery. So this means the world will accelerate. So this is our second misery. Where's my character sheet? Second misery, and our second misery will put us on to the next dice, which I'm not too sure what that is, but we'll look it up and we will roll what the misery is. So first one we interpreted as the cities were on fire, because it was kingdoms burn. That was the psalm. So we have gone from D6 to D2. The clock will start ticking. D2. So Harmug's world is not for long. So we will do we roll. So for this we roll. I think isn't it a D66? Yes, it must be a D66. We roll a D66 and we will see what psalm we get. Clears. 15. Doubt is crowned. The loyal shall turn their blades on those who silver gave. Doubt is crowned. The loyal shall turn their blades on those who silver gave. Oh. So Harmug is unaware of this, sitting in Pal Park, but the less well off, the less fortunate, begin to doubt why they allow themselves to be the less fortunate. Why do they have to be less fortunate? And those who they had been loyal to, those who they had worked for, those who they had given their lives to, why do they deserve the riches? And unbeknownst to Harmug, in certain sections of certain cities that have withstood the fires, blood flows down the streets as the revolution begins and the days of the clock tick down. Anyway, I'm now waking up and I don't really care about stuff like that anyway. So, what's the weather like? So next we will do the weather, which is a D12. 12. Oh my god, grave like cold. So we are on day 9. Our calendar was 1. And that was the poor turn on the rich. There's a 1980s film called Eat the Rich, and it's grave like cold. Oh man, I'm going to say it, okay? I hate myself for using this phrase. This phrase is in the comments. Terribly sorry. If this is irritating, I don't mind wearing the hat. You can mention it if you like. I may even read it. Not that anyone will type anything. But you never know. You never know. So, we've done that. We're not travelling because we are in this area. He went to bed. I'm sure I consumed, because I think I had 3 days food, so I've been consumed one. He's got 2 days food left. He's on 6 hit points from 7. I don't think Harmug has done anything to warrant getting better. Just to recap for myself, anything, he's cruel. He has a juddering stutter from nerve damage when he gets stressed. Won't use a new blade without testing it on himself first. Self-harming, and he's in massive debt, and someone is hunting him, which might come up. Right, so next things next. No milling, bloody cold. Let's see if we can get inside Misery Hunting Lodge, Dining Lodge, and then we can get in front of a fire and maybe have something to eat, something proper. So, Dungeoneering. Dungeoneering is, if I remember rightly, we are going through. Oh, that's it. That's it. We've got a DR10, so I do a prayer. It's a DR10 versus 2d20s plus the number of special rooms discovered so far, and we have discovered one. Is the herb garden in the room? One. We've only discovered one so far. Okay, and that one was the park gate. So Harmug needs to make a dungeoneering check with +1. Ah, where's my orange d20? 5 and 5. 5 and 5. 5 and 5. 5 and 5. Is this where it's? Is this where if we do a check and it's 5 and 5? So this is a bad fail. So I know, yeah, because he needs to roll over 10. So even with +1, so that's 6 and 6, but that's matched. So that's a double fail. So that's a complete fail. But they've doubled, the numbers have doubled, and in most of these, but I may be thinking of Iron Swan. It's extreme, either extremely good or extremely bad. So. Encounter some right. So this is extremely bad. I am going to automatically say we will have because this which also came with it has encounters built in. We are going to have a rare encounter. So something terrible is going to happen. So first off, we will roll our normal room descriptor, and then we're going to roll. What sort of things do we have? These are the rare encounters. And Axel, which is a demon. We've got a lesser spirit. So I think most of these could turn up anywhere. So let's design a room. Let's do a dungeon room. Here we go. Room objective is a D20. Room type we replace with the D12 from this book, which we'll use the purple one. Then we'll use a D4 for exits, and the green D12 for, well, we know what the room, well, we'll do room contents, but it's going to be this rare encounter. So we have 14, 6, 2 and 7. So our next room is a 14. It says it's crowded or busy. So let's pick, let's write crowded or busy. So we've just come out, we've got the tall grass. Room type is 6 from Powell Park. 6 is, okay, crowded or busy. 6 is the orchard. So we've found the orchard. It's packed tight with trees. 2. We're using 1 special room. 2. There are two easy exits. So we're entering the orchard. There are special rooms uncovered. 1. We rolled to 2. 2 exits. So a path coming into the orchard. And 7 contents. What does it say? Oh, that's his common encounter. We've got a rare encounter. So we will roll on the rare encounter. And then we will set the scene. And poor old Harmog may not even get to the end of the day. We have a D6 on the rare encounters table. Rare encounters and NPCs below can only be encountered once. Okay, so I'll cross them out once it's done. We have on number 6, Prince Olkia, a sorrowful demon conjured and abused by the master of the place. DR12 presence versus 2d20 to comfort him. Strong hit. He joins you. Weak. He lets you pass. Foul. Begin combat. Okay. Alright. We can do this, can't we? So, Harmog, in the bitter cold, thinks I can't be out here in the open much longer. It's freezing. I know. It might be worth my while. I mean, at least until the middle of the day, if I can get myself some wood, I might be able to make myself a little fire and warm up. So he stands in the middle of the grass and he starts looking around because he was in that grassy patch. So looking around, he will see over to the side, across the grass, which he will carefully make his way over the grass, really being careful, parting the grass as he walks along to make sure there's no more man traps. He comes across an orchard. Oh, I might be able to get some apples off this. But every single apple tree he comes across, the apples are strangely, they're rotting. They're badly kept. The trees are overgrown. They're not been cut back in ages, so the apples have fallen to the ground. There's this. I don't know whether you've smelt. So we used to have an apple tree when I was growing up. And it only fruited every other year, and it fruited heaps, and the ground would just smell like cider, mainly because me and my brother would throw apples at each other, but it smelled like cider. It was just a small house in London. It just so happened that when Mum and Dad bought it years ago, when you could actually buy a house, there was an apple tree in the back garden, but it really smelled cider, and that's what this smells like as Harmog enters the orchard. He just has this fermenting apple smell that makes him fondly think of, oh, massive old jug of cider in the pub. Oh, God, if I could only be there. So he starts looking around for any fallen branches that he might be able to start a fire with. And that's where he hears, oh, dear, what will I do? Oh, what am I going to do? Through the trees, Harmog carefully moves forwards through the trees. Why do you bother me? What's up with you? There's this strange apparition. It's a looks like a man, but not a man, and he's there but not there, sitting on a fallen log, which is rotting. Although it looks not quite right. He's sitting on the log, but it's almost like he's not sitting on the log. Is quite a well-built, strong-looking man wearing spiked armour, hard spiked armour, with large gauntlets on, which are aflame. And oh my God! Do not leave me! Do not leave me in my distress! Is a very sorrowful-looking demon. He has abused me, and he has made me do terrible things. He summons me from the dark places and then casts me upon the world. Oh my God, you're a bit dramatic. I cannot cope with this world. You must do something for me, please. Alright. Well, fella, I don't think there's that much to worry about. It's alright, isn't it? I mean, it's going to get better, innit? I know stuff's been a bit bad, and the city was on fire, for God's sake. That can't get much worse than that. And, I mean, all the beer, that's going to bloody bubbled away, innit? That's all going to get boiled away. But there's more beer other places, and there's more pubs. Loads of pubs, innit, round here? It can't be getting that bad. I know it's getting a bit bad, but it's not... I mean, it's not like the end of the world, fella, is it?
So Harmog does his best to try and calm the prince down. I was a prince in the old days. But Harmog's not particularly good at stuff like this. He has a presence of 0, which is better than the -1 he did have. So he needs to make a DR12 check with his presence of 0. Strong, he might join him. Weak, he will say thank you for the help, and a foul, he is going to get angry. Bloody hell. Nat 20 and a 5. So that is a weak hit. Oh, I suppose you're right, sir. I suppose you're right. And I suppose I should go back to serve him. It can't get that bad, can it? I know I am stripping the flesh from beings he brings to me, but it can't be that bad.
You do what?
Don't worry. I will just sit here a while and calm down.
Alright, fella. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing to spend your time with, but I would say you're a weird looking chap, but you're not weird, are you?
No, I am just slightly forlorn. And Harmug backs away out of the...
Do you mind if I pick up a couple of sticks? I'm just going to try and pick up a couple of sticks. Is that all right?
We're just going to do the oracle, which I believe, if I'm right, which is D4, isn't it? 1 is low. 1 is yes. 3. Well, no, because this orchard was a very favoured place of mine. But I do not mind if you pick up sticks outside of the orchard.
Alright, fella. You didn't used to do some acting on the side, did you, Edward?
I was an actor. And Harmug will just leave the sticks. He's going to be cold for a bit. And he will back away. Now, there's 2 ways out. Let's draw some grass coming up to our orchard. O-R-C-H-A-R-D. I can spell orchard. So he met... so Prince... So if he has to come back... Prince Ulrich is in the orchard. Demon Prince. He's in the orchard and wants to be left alone. So if we get a dead end and we have to come back this way, he might be a bit peeved with Harmug coming and disturbing him. So Harmug has 2 choices. One going off to the... Oh, I hate this way that you can't... One going off to the west, one going off to the east.
I think I'm going to go west. I'm going to go west this time. West is best, isn't it? West is best. West is best. I'm going to cross off Prince Ulrich because he's left behind. All right, then let's take our time about this. We're going to take our time and we're going to move through the orchard. He's going to go through the orchard. I wonder, he's going to have, actually, he might have a search about. He might have a look about just on the odd chance that he might find something. So let's do a presence, which he's got a 0. I think it's going to be really hard to find something useful here. Difficult, really hard, really hard. It's going to be really hard to find anything. 13, no. So that's just a normal fail. So Harmug hunts around. He finds some mouldy apples. He's going to find some bits of stick, but it's been on the ground and it's been raining, so it's wet. It's no good for kindling, no good for making a fire with. And he will move forward. I'm not too sure if an hour is too long
for doing these. I mean, I quite like it because half an hour, particularly when I go off on tangents, might be too short. But I enjoy myself for the hour. I'm doing I'm doing this for me. But I don't know if an hour is too long and a half an hour, little half hour chunks is better. I'm thinking of doing reading. Well, I have been Cthulhu, the solos. I'm only doing those as half hour because it's just really reading out loud. All right, let's go west. We're going to go west down this exit, and we'll see what we can find out this way. That wasn't that bad for him, was it? That bad roll. It was a rare encounter. I mean, I suppose he could have got into combat with him, and that would have not ended well. Let's go west. So I need to get 10s. That is a weak hit, and a weak hit means I just generate a room. I could have done something worse on that last one. Alright, let's give him a weak hit. Let's do a room and we'll do another. We could do a rare account of this one. So we've got a green for the 10, purple for the 12, then we've got the D4, and so we've got a 14, a 13 rather, an 11, a 1 and a 7. So our next room is 13. Oh, it's extravagant. So as Harmach heads west, there is an extravagant 12, 11 rather. Valley? Okay. The road is going to dip into a valley with one exit, which makes sense, down the other end. So this is some kind of valley, okay. And 7 gives us a common encounter. And rolling a d6 for our common encounters. 1. We have the Gameskeeper. Alright, and it says, okay, it says roll a d2 to check on proximity. So this Gameskeeper, okay, the Gameskeeper will always attack whenever he meets someone. So it's a d2, 1 is melee, 2 is at range. So we'll count that as 2 because 1 to 3 would have as melee. 1 to 3 would be 1 and 4, 5, 6. Sorry, mate, I'm quite snuffly. So we have encountered the Gameskeeper. So Harmach has headed out to the west, and the road has dipped down into a little pass, which comes across. Oh, I don't think Harmach is even going to be able to get to this fella. Okay, so the road dips down, the pathway comes out of the trees, and the trees butt up against the natural path leads as going down, and the trees continue to come up onto a ridge, and Harmach is walking down a sort of a ravine, a little valley, where he can clearly see it's not very far. It's not very far. It's about, I don't know, it's going to take him about 5 minutes to just walk through this little bit underpass sort of valley thing, but the sky's above him and there's all the trees as he's walking along. He seems quite happy, and you can see that the exit is on the far side, and I just need to head over there. And it's cold, but this is out of the wind, so the wind's going across and I'm alright. I'll walk along this valley with the trees coming over the top. Oh, it's quite pretty, this, and it's quite picturesque. I'm glad I'm here now. Hey, you! What you doing here? What you doing in my park? Hey, fella! Get out the park! And with that, the Gameskeeper, with his Deerstalker hat wrapped around, because it's quite cold, big scarf. What you doing here, fella? He's going to open up with his blunderbuss on Harmach. Because he will be ranged for 2 D2 rounds, and then Harmach is going to be able to get up to him because Harmach has no ranged weapons at all. So Harmug will either have to get up to him or leg it. And we'll see how he goes with the first shot. So 2 rounds. So we've got the Gameskeeper. For 2 rounds, the Gameskeeper has hit points of 5, a morale of 11. He's wearing thick tweed, D2 armour. The blunderbuss does a D8, and he's got a little bit of a sticky knife, which does a D4. Okay, and it says he always attacks. You fella, get out the park! We will count that our beautiful Harmug is ambushed, because that seems to make sense here. Or we can let him do a really hard presence check. No way. So Harmug is shot at as someone shouts and goes, "Oh my god!" and a blast goes off, and then we'll have to decide whether Harmug tries to leg it or tries to run up and attack this Gameskeeper. I've got a feeling Harmug might try and leg it, and then I don't know what we do. I guess Harmug will run, the guy will fire. We'll say because it's a blunderbuss, isn't it? And a blunderbuss needs to be reloaded. A blunderbuss, I don't think a blunderbuss comes with reloads. You'd normally have to load it. So we'll give them a bit of a race unless this shot kills Harmug outright. So Harmug attempts to defend against it with his agility of +1, but because of his armor, he has to hit a DR 14 instead of a DR 12, and he gets a natural 1. All right, that means his armor goes down 1 notch, doesn't it? That's right, isn't it? Takes double damage, and this hole is an hour too long. He takes double damage, and the armor is reduced by 1 tier after the dumber. So the shot surprises Harmug, who stands there like a little rabbit in headlights. What? And gets a D8 between the eyes. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do we mitigate it and then double it? So that mitigates the even if I mitigate it and double it, that's gonna stick Harmug is unconscious. Oh, we might be kind. Alright. So let's not kill Harmug straight off, even though this will. So a shock. No man. Alright, what half hour it is. Half hour is the ending of Harmug. What you doing in my park? The pellets just envelop Harmug's face. What? And that is the last words. Harmug of... No! This isn't fair to kill our Harmug. I like the voice. Harmug could wake up in. This was what my other thought was. Harmug wakes up on 1 hit point with no stuff, naked, which in Mork Borg seems like that's death anyway. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. But at this point, Harmug falls unconscious, pellets covering his upper torso, his armour shredded from what was obviously a very overloaded blunderbuss, as the Gameskeeper looks down and goes, "Oh no, I didn't mean to do that much damage," and Harmug collapses to the ground. Although the Gameskeeper is going to get himself 2 scrolls, a tiara, or a blanket, and some strange blue liquid that if the Gameskeeper tries to have a bit of a drink of it, he's going to have some amazing hallucinations. And the IOU, which I've got notes of here, is from his boss, which is 44 Serial. But at this point, all Harmug is thinking of is, if that guard was still here, he could have got shot instead. And with that, I think we'll say, at the end of Harmug, he's job done.